The Art of Influence, Mastering NLP Techniques for Seduction. Feature Overview, Foundational Understanding. The book provides a solid foundation in the principles of neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, and how they apply to the art of seduction, ensuring that readers have a strong base to build upon. Ethical Framework. Each chapter emphasizes the importance of ethical seduction, focusing on consent, respect, and integrity in all interactions. Practical Exercises. The book includes practical exercises designed to help readers internalize and apply NLP techniques in real-world seduction scenarios. Cultural Sensitivity. Acknowledges the importance of cultural and individual differences in communication and seduction, offering guidance on how to navigate these nuances with respect and understanding. Advanced Techniques. Introduces advanced NLP strategies such as hypnotic language patterns and emotional anchoring, providing readers with sophisticated tools to enhance their influence. Personal Growth. Encourages self-reflection and personal development as integral parts of mastering seduction, promoting a journey of self-discovery alongside skill acquisition. Storytelling and Metaphors. Explores the use of storytelling and metaphors as powerful methods for creating emotional resonance and deepening connections. Body Language Analysis. Offers insights into decoding and interpreting body language, a key aspect of nonverbal communication in seduction. Positive Communication. Focuses on positive framing and language use to create an uplifting and attractive presence in seductive interactions. Comprehensive Approach. Combines various NLP techniques and concepts into a cohesive approach to seduction, ensuring a well-rounded and effective methodology. Interactive Format. The tutorial book format is designed to be interactive, encouraging readers to engage actively with the content and practice their skills. Chapter Overviews. Each chapter begins with an overview of key concepts and main focuses, allowing readers to easily grasp the core ideas and how they fit into the broader context of the book. Ethical Considerations. The final chapter brings the discussion back to the importance of ethical considerations, reinforcing the book's commitment to responsible and respectful seduction practices. Chapter Overview. Chapter 1. Introduction to NLP and Seduction. Key Concepts. Basics of NLP, History, Ethical Seduction. Main Focus. Understanding NLP in the context of seduction and the importance of ethical practice. Chapter 2. Language and Influence. Key Concepts. Power of Language, Emotional Influence. Main Focus. Exploring the impact of language in shaping thoughts and feelings in seduction. Chapter 3. Understanding Individual Filters. Key Concepts. Perception, Personal Worldviews. Main Focus. Tailoring approaches to individual perceptions and cognitive filters in seduction. Chapter 4. Outcome Orientation in NLP and Seduction. Key Concepts. Goal Alignment, Ethical Communication. Main Focus. Clarifying and aligning intentions in seductive communication. Chapter 5. Empathetic Communication. Key Concepts. Empathy, Connection. Main Focus. Building connections through understanding and empathy. Chapter 6. Building rapport through mirroring and matching. Key Concepts. Rapport building, mirroring techniques. Main Focus. Establishing and enhancing rapport through behavioral mirroring and matching. Chapter 7. Positive Framing in Conversations. Key Concepts. Positive Communication, Influential Framing. Main Focus. Strategies for positive and influential communication. Chapter 8. Decoding Body Language. Key Concepts. Nonverbal cues, body language interpretation. Main Focus. Understanding and using body language in seduction. Chapter 9. Advanced Techniques. Key Concepts. Hypnotic Patterns, Emotional Storytelling. Main Focus. Exploring advanced NLP techniques for deeper influence. Chapter 10. Ethical Considerations in NLP and Seduction. Key Concepts. Ethics, Consent, Integrity. Main Focus. Emphasizing the ethical use of NLP in seduction. Welcome to the intriguing world of neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, and its application in the art of seduction. NLP is a psychological approach that involves analyzing strategies used by successful individuals and applying them to reach personal goals. It combines neurological processes, language, and behavioral patterns learned through experience to achieve specific outcomes. In this introductory chapter, we lay the groundwork for understanding how NLP can be effectively used to influence and seduce, not in a manipulative or unethical manner, but with respect and mutual consent. We will explore the basics of NLP, delve into its fascinating history, and discuss the principles of ethical seduction. Seduction, in the context of this book, is not merely about romantic conquests, but about connecting with others in a meaningful way, creating attraction, and influencing others positively while respecting their autonomy and individuality. As we embark on this journey, we encourage you to engage with the introductory exercises included at the end of this chapter. These activities are designed to familiarize you with the core concepts of NLP and to prepare you for the more advanced techniques that will follow. Let's begin by understanding the foundational elements that make NLP such a powerful tool for personal transformation and influence. Chapter 1: Introduction to NLP and Seduction. As we delve deeper into the basics of NLP, it's important to understand its origins. Neuro-linguistic programming was developed in the 1970s by Richard Bandler and John Grinder, who were interested in the relationship between successful communication patterns and psychological well-being. They observed and modeled therapists who were excellent communicators and helped their clients achieve fast and lasting change. NLP is grounded in the premise that we experience the world through our sensory perceptual systems and the maps or cognitive filters we develop through our experiences. These maps determine how we interpret and navigate the world, and in turn, how we communicate with others. By understanding and refining these maps, we can improve how we relate and connect with people, which is a crucial aspect of seduction. The ethical dimension of seduction is paramount in the application of NLP. Ethical seduction is about creating genuine connections and ensuring that any influence exerted is not exploitative, but rather based on mutual respect and consent. It's about enhancing one's attractiveness and appeal to others through authenticity and understanding, not through deceit or manipulation. To start practicing NLP, engage with the following introductory exercises designed to heighten your awareness of your sensory perceptions and the way you communicate with others. These exercises will serve as a foundation for the more sophisticated techniques you will learn in later chapters. 1. Sensory observation exercise. Spend a day paying close attention to the sensory details of your environment, the sights, sounds, smells, tastes, and textures. Note how these sensory inputs affect your mood and interactions. 2. Reflective listening exercise. In your next conversation, focus on truly listening to the other person. Reflect back what they say in your own words to ensure understanding and to demonstrate empathy. By becoming more attuned to the sensory experiences and the needs of others, you're taking the first step in mastering the art of influence through NLP. Moving forward with our exploration of NLP, let's consider the key components that form its foundation. NLP is often described as the study of the structure of subjective experience, and it operates on three principal domains: neurology, language, and programming. These domains correspond to the processes that govern our mind, neuro, the way we communicate, linguistic, and our patterns of behavior and thought, programming. Understanding these components is crucial because they influence how we perceive potential partners and how we present ourselves to them. For instance, our neurological processes can affect our confidence and state of mind, our language can seduce or repel, and our programming can either enhance or hinder our seductive abilities. In the context of seduction, NLP teaches us to be mindful of our internal states and to calibrate our communication to resonate with the person we are interested in. This means not just speaking their language on a linguistic level, but also connecting with them emotionally and psychologically. One of the most powerful aspects of NLP is its emphasis on outcomes. By having a clear outcome in mind, we can direct our actions and communications towards achieving that goal. In seduction, this could mean establishing a meaningful connection, sharing a romantic experience, or building a lasting relationship. Here are some exercises to continue your NLP journey. 1. Outcome clarification. Exercise. Define what you want to achieve in your next social interaction. It could be as simple as making someone smile or as complex as forming a deep connection. Keep this outcome in mind as you interact. 2. State management exercise. Practice entering a state of confidence and positivity before engaging in social interactions. Use visualization, affirmations, or recall past successes to help shift into this state. By becoming adept at managing your internal state and setting clear outcomes, you will lay the groundwork for more advanced seductive techniques that rely on a strong understanding of NLP principles. As we conclude this introductory chapter, let's reflect on the importance of intention in the practice of NLP for seduction. The techniques and strategies discussed are potent tools that, when applied with care and positive intention, can greatly enhance the quality of your interactions and relationships. However, it is imperative to approach NLP with an ethical mindset, prioritizing respect, consent, and the well-being of all involved. NLP is not about tricking someone into feeling a certain way or taking actions against their will. It's about facilitating a genuine connection and guiding experiences that are enjoyable and consensual. The true art of influence lies in the ability to create a space where two people can express their desires and boundaries clearly and confidently. As you move forward to the subsequent chapters, which will delve into more specific techniques and scenarios, keep the principles of ethical seduction at the forefront of your practice. Remember that the goal is to foster connections that are enriching and fulfilling for everyone involved. To wrap up this chapter, here is a final exercise. Ethical reflection. Exercise. Take some time to write down your personal values and boundaries regarding seduction and influence. Consider what ethical seduction means to you and how you can ensure that your actions align with these values. This exercise will serve as a compass as you navigate through the more nuanced aspects of NLP and seduction. With this solid ethical foundation, you will be prepared to explore the intricacies of language, empathy, and influence that can enrich your personal and romantic endeavors. Chapter 2. Language and Influence. Language is a powerful tool in the realm of influence and seduction. The words we choose, the phrases we employ, and the narratives we weave can all profoundly impact the thoughts, feelings, and actions of others. In this chapter, we will explore the power of language and how it can be harnessed to create emotional influence in the context of seduction. The first concept to understand is the notion of linguistic precision. This refers to the ability to use language with clarity and specificity to convey your intentions and feelings accurately. In seduction, being linguistically precise allows you to express your desires and interests in a way that is direct yet respectful, reducing the likelihood of misunderstandings. Another key aspect of language in NLP is the use of metaphors and stories. These are invaluable for creating emotional resonance and for communicating complex ideas in an engaging and relatable manner. Through storytelling, you can evoke emotions, share experiences, and create a shared reality that draws the listener closer to you. To enhance your linguistic influence, try the following exercises. 1. Precision exercise. Practice expressing your thoughts and feelings with precision. Instead of saying, "I like you," try articulating what specifically you appreciate about the person, such as, "I admire your creativity and the passion you have for your art." 2. Storytelling exercise. Think of a personal experience that taught you an important lesson about life, love, or happiness. Craft a story around this experience, focusing on vivid imagery and emotions, and practice sharing it in a way that captivates and connects with your listener. By refining your use of language and embracing the art of storytelling, you will be able to engage others on a deeper emotional level, paving the way for more meaningful and influential interactions. Emotional influence through language is not just about what is said, it is equally about how it is said. The tonality, pace, and volume of your voice can dramatically alter the message's impact. In seduction, a soft whisper might convey intimacy, while a firm tone might demonstrate confidence. The concept of embedded commands in NLP takes advantage of this tonal variation to subtly suggest actions or thoughts to the listener. By embedding commands within a larger sentence, you can bypass the listener's conscious filters and speak directly to their subconscious. For example, a statement like, "You might find yourself feeling more relaxed as we continue talking," contains the embedded command, "Feel more relaxed." To practice using language for emotional influence, consider these exercises. 1. Tonality. Exercise. Record yourself speaking about a topic you're passionate about. Play it back and listen to the variations in your tone. Practice emphasizing different words and notice how it changes the message's emotional content. 2. Embedded commands. Exercise. In a casual conversation, try using embedded commands to suggest positive feelings or actions. Be subtle and ensure that these suggestions are in the best interest of the listener and maintain ethical standards. Using language with intention and awareness can create an atmosphere of allure and persuasion. As you become more adept at these techniques, you will find yourself able to influence emotions and create connections more naturally and effectively. The subtleties of language extend beyond the spoken word to the unspoken messages we convey. These include the pauses we take, the rhythm of our speech, and the emphasis we place on certain words or phrases. In the dance of seduction, these nuances can be as telling as the words themselves, creating a subtext that speaks volumes. One NLP technique that capitalizes on these subtleties is the use of presuppositions. Presuppositions are assumptions embedded within a statement that must be accepted as true for the statement to make sense. For example, by saying, "When you start feeling a connection with someone, what's the first thing you notice?" You presuppose that the person does feel connections and directs their mind to explore that experience. To further refine your linguistic prowess, engage with these exercises. 1. Pause and rhythm exercise. During your next conversation, consciously insert pauses and play with the rhythm of your speech. Notice how this affects the flow of the interaction and the listener's engagement. 2. Presupposition exercise. Practice forming sentences with presuppositions that encourage positive assumptions. Use these in conversations to guide the listener towards certain thoughts or feelings. By mastering the art of language, you will be able to influence not only what others think, but also how they feel. This powerful tool, when used ethically, can help you build deeper connections and enhance your seductive presence. As we continue to explore the role of language in seduction, it is important to consider the concept of congruence. Congruence refers to the alignment between one's words and one's nonverbal communication. In the context of seduction, congruence can significantly enhance trust and credibility, as it signals to the other person that you are genuine and authentic. When your verbal and nonverbal messages are congruent, your communication becomes more powerful and persuasive. Conversely, incongruence can lead to confusion or distrust, as it may appear that you are hiding something or not fully committed to what you are saying. Another linguistic tool in NLP is the use of sensory-rich language to create vivid and engaging experiences. By incorporating words that appeal to the senses, you can paint a picture that is more likely to captivate and stimulate the imagination of your audience. Here are exercises to practice congruence and sensory-rich communication. 1. Congruence exercise. Record a video of yourself talking about something you are passionate about. Watch the video and observe if your body language, facial expressions, and tone match the emotion of your words. Practice until you achieve congruence. 2. Sensory language exercise. Describe a memorable experience using language that evokes sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. Share this description with a friend and ask for feedback on the vividness of your storytelling. By integrating these techniques into your communication style, you will be able to convey your messages with greater impact and allure. Language is a key element in the art of seduction, and mastering its nuances will serve you well in creating meaningful and persuasive interactions. Wrapping up our discussion on language and influence, let's touch upon the importance of active listening. Active listening is a skill that involves fully concentrating on the speaker, understanding their message, responding thoughtfully, and remembering what is said. It is a crucial component of effective communication and a powerful tool in seduction. When you listen actively, you not only gain a deeper understanding of the other person's thoughts and feelings, but you also demonstrate care and respect. This can foster a stronger connection and increase the other person's attraction to you. By being present and engaged, you create a space where genuine rapport can flourish. To develop your active listening skills, try these exercises. 1. Active listening exercise. In your next conversation, focus on being fully present. Avoid interrupting, and after the person speaks, summarize what they've said to confirm your understanding. Pay attention to both their words and the emotions behind them. 2. Memory exercise. After a conversation, write down the key points that were discussed. This will help improve your ability to retain and reflect on what you've heard, enhancing your active listening skills. Active listening, congruence, sensory-rich language, and the other linguistic techniques discussed in this chapter are all integral to mastering the art of influence in seduction. By applying these skills with ethical intent, you will be well on your way to creating meaningful and captivating connections. With the foundational knowledge of NLP and the power of language now established, we will move on to understanding individual filters and perceptions in the next chapter, furthering your ability to tailor your seductive approach to the unique person you are engaging with. Chapter 3. Understanding individual filters. Chapter 3 delves into the intricate world of individual filters and perceptions, a critical aspect of NLP that is particularly relevant to seduction. Every person views the world through a unique lens shaped by their personal experiences, beliefs, values, and cultural background. These filters determine how we interpret information and interact with others. In the context of seduction, recognizing and adapting to these individual filters can greatly enhance your ability to connect with someone on a deeper level. It allows you to tailor your approach to resonate with their unique worldview, creating a sense of understanding and rapport. One of the first steps in understanding someone's filters is to listen attentively to the language they use. The words and metaphors they choose can provide insights into how they perceive the world. For example, a person who frequently uses visual language, like "I see what you mean," may have a predominantly visual style of processing information. To practice recognizing and adapting to individual filters, engage in the following exercises. 1. Language patterns. Exercise. In your next conversation, pay close attention to the sensory-based words the other person uses. Are they primarily visual, auditory, or kinesthetic? Once you identify their preferred representational system, try using similar language to strengthen your connection. 2. Beliefs and values. Exercise. Have a discussion with someone about their beliefs and values. Listen for clues about what is important to them and reflect that understanding in your responses. By becoming attuned to the individual filters of those you wish to influence, you can communicate in a way that is more likely to be received positively, fostering a sense of intimacy and trust that is essential for seduction. Beyond recognizing the representational systems people use, NLP teaches us to be mindful of the deeper layers of someone's psychological landscape. This includes their values, beliefs, and even the specific strategies they employ to make decisions or create meaning in their lives. In seduction, understanding these deeper layers can help you to align your communication and behavior with what the other person finds attractive and compelling. It's about resonating with their core self, which can lead to a more profound and genuine connection. One effective NLP technique for uncovering these layers is to ask open-ended questions that encourage self-exploration. For example, questions like, "What experiences have shaped your outlook on relationships?" Or, "What qualities do you find most important in a partner?" can provide valuable insights into their inner world. Here are some exercises to help you understand and connect with individual filters. 1. Values elicitation. Exercise. With a willing participant, explore what they value most in different areas of their life. Ask them to rank these values in order of importance and discuss why each is significant to them. 2. Belief exploration. Exercise. Engage in a conversation where you gently probe the beliefs the other person holds about love, relationships, and connection. Be respectful and curious, and avoid challenging their beliefs. Instead, seek to understand them. By recognizing and appreciating the individual filters that shape how people see the world, you can more effectively tailor your approach to seduction, ensuring that your interactions are both respectful and impactful. Another aspect of individual filters is the concept of submodalities, which are the fine distinctions we make within our sensory perceptions. For instance, when we visualize something, the image can be bright or dim, close or distant, static or moving. These submodalities can affect the intensity of our emotions and our states of mind. In seduction, you can use submodalities to influence how someone feels about you or the experiences you share. By subtly guiding them to alter the submodalities of their thoughts, such as making a pleasant memory with you brighter and more vivid, you can enhance the positive feelings associated with that memory. To practice influencing through submodalities, engage in these exercises. 1. Visualization enhancement exercise. When sharing a story or memory with someone, encourage them to visualize it vividly. Ask them to adjust the submodalities, make the colors brighter, the sounds clearer, and notice how this changes their emotional response. 2. Emotional shift exercise. With a partner, explore how changing submodalities can alter emotional states. Have them think of a neutral memory, and then change the submodalities to make it more positive or negative, observing the emotional effect. By becoming skilled at working with submodalities, you can create more impactful and memorable interactions. This nuanced understanding of individual filters is a powerful component of seduction, allowing you to connect with others in a way that is both meaningful and influential. Individual filters also encompass the unique ways in which people construct their reality strategies, the specific sequences of internal and external experiences they go through to make decisions or form beliefs. For example, some might need to see visual proof before they believe something, while others might rely on a gut feeling or a trusted person's words. In the context of seduction, understanding a person's reality strategy can give you insight into how they might make decisions about relationships and attraction. By aligning your approach with their decision-making process, you can communicate in a way that feels more natural and convincing to them. NLP offers techniques to map out these reality strategies, such as 1. Decision-making strategy exercise. With a willing participant, explore how they make decisions in different aspects of their life. Ask them to describe the process they go through when they decide, for instance, to trust someone. Pay attention to the sequence of sensory-based steps they describe. 2. Belief formation strategy. Exercise. Discuss with someone how they came to hold a particular belief. What experiences or information led to that belief? Understanding this process can help you communicate in a way that aligns with how they construct their understanding of the world. As we conclude this chapter on individual filters, it's vital to emphasize the importance of flexibility in your approach to seduction. The ability to adapt your communication and behavior to match the other person's filters is a hallmark of NLP mastery. This doesn't mean being inauthentic or manipulative. Rather, it's about finding common ground and expressing yourself in a way that is both true to you and resonant with them. In seduction, this flexibility can manifest in the ability to switch between different representational systems, to adjust the submodalities of your language to match their mood, or to mirror their reality strategies in a way that shows empathy and understanding. The final exercises for this chapter are designed to enhance your adaptive capabilities. 1. Flexibility exercise. In your interactions, practice switching between visual, auditory, and kinesthetic language to see which one the other person responds to most positively. Adapt your language accordingly to build rapport. 2. Matching exercise. Observe the body language, tone of voice, and speaking patterns of the person you're communicating with. Gently match some of these elements to create a sense of harmony in your interaction. By developing a flexible approach and a deep understanding of individual filters, you will be better equipped to engage in seduction that is not only effective, but also respectful and attuned to the unique individual you are connecting with. Chapter 4. Outcome Orientation in NLP and Seduction. Chapter 4 introduces the concept of outcome orientation, a cornerstone of NLP that is particularly relevant to the art of seduction. Outcome orientation involves having a clear understanding of what you want to achieve in any given interaction or relationship. It's about setting intentions that guide your behavior and communication towards your desired result. In seduction, being outcome-oriented means knowing what kind of connection you're looking for, whether it's a short-term fling, a deep romantic bond, or simply a warm conversation with a stranger. Having this clarity allows you to align your actions and words with your goals, making your attempts at influence more focused and effective. A key aspect of outcome orientation in NLP is the establishment of well-formed outcomes. These are goals that are specific, achievable, ecologically sound, and stated in positive terms. For example, instead of a vague intention like, "I want to be attractive," a well-formed outcome would be, "I want to engage in conversations that showcase my sense of humor and warmth." To practice outcome orientation, consider these exercises. 1. Well-formed outcomes. Exercise. Identify a goal you have for your next social interaction. Refine it into a well-formed outcome using the criteria mentioned above. Keep this outcome in mind as you engage with others. 2. Intention setting exercise. Before going into a social setting, take a moment to set an intention for what you wish to achieve. Visualize the outcome and the steps you might take to get there. By maintaining an outcome orientation in your seductive endeavors, you will be able to navigate interactions with greater purpose and direction, increasing the likelihood of achieving the meaningful connections you desire. Understanding and aligning with your desired outcomes in seduction also requires the ability to communicate your intentions clearly and ethically. This involves not only stating what you want, but also being receptive to the other person's goals and boundaries. Ethical communication ensures that both parties are on the same page and that any progress made is consensual and mutually satisfying. One of the techniques for ethical communication in NLP is the use of positive language. Instead of focusing on what you don't want, express what you do want. Positive language is constructive and opens the door to possibilities and collaboration. For example, saying, "I'd like to spend more time getting to know you," is more positive and clear than, "I don't want to just say goodbye now." To enhance your outcome orientation with ethical communication, try these exercises. 1. Positive language exercise. Reflect on past interactions where you might have focused on negatives. Reframe those statements using positive language and notice how it changes the message's impact. 2. Intent and consent exercise. In your next interaction, practice expressing your intentions openly and give space for the other person to share theirs. Ensure that there is mutual understanding and agreement before moving forward. By being clear about your intentions and respectful of others' boundaries, you will foster trust and respect in your relationships. This approach not only aligns with ethical seduction practices, but also enhances the quality of your connections. In addition to verbal communication, outcome orientation in seduction involves being mindful of the non-verbal signals you send. Your body language, eye contact, and even the space you maintain can all convey your intentions, whether you're aware of it or not. Being congruent in your nonverbal communication ensures that your intended message is clear and that you're perceived as genuine and trustworthy. For example, if your outcome is to create a sense of intimacy and closeness, maintaining eye contact and orienting your body towards the person can non-verbally communicate your interest. Conversely, if your goal is to keep the interaction light and friendly, more casual body language and varied eye contact can help set that tone. Here are exercises to align your non-verbal communication with your outcomes. 1. Non-verbal alignment. Exercise. Choose an outcome for an upcoming interaction and identify non-verbal behaviors that could support that outcome. Practice these behaviors in front of a mirror or with a friend to become more conscious of them. 2. Feedback exercise. After an interaction, ask a friend or confidant for feedback on your non-verbal communication. Were your intentions clear based on your body language and eye contact? Use this feedback to refine your approach. Outcome orientation is not just about the end goal, but also about enjoying the journey. By being intentional and mindful in your seductive interactions, you can create experiences that are fulfilling and enjoyable for everyone involved. Another vital element of outcome orientation in seduction is the ability to adapt to feedback. As you interact with someone, they will provide verbal and nonverbal cues that indicate how they are responding to you. Being sensitive to these cues and willing to adjust your approach is key to maintaining rapport and moving toward your desired outcome. This adaptive approach is grounded in the NLP principle of behavioral flexibility, which suggests that the person with the most flexibility in behavior will control the interaction. This doesn't mean being manipulative. It means being responsive to the dynamics of the interaction and willing to change course if things aren't going as planned. To practice behavioral flexibility and responsiveness to feedback, consider these exercises. 1. Feedback. Responsiveness exercise. In your next conversation, pay close attention to the other person's reactions to what you say and do. If you sense disinterest or discomfort, change your approach and observe how they respond. 2. Scenario planning exercise. Think of a few different scenarios for how an interaction might go, and plan how you could adapt to each one. For example, if the conversation stalls, you might have a story or question ready to reignite engagement. By being outcome-oriented and responsive to feedback, you can navigate the complexities of seduction with greater ease and effectiveness. This approach ensures that you remain attuned to the other person's experience and that your actions contribute positively to the interaction. As we wrap up the chapter on outcome orientation, it's essential to consider the role of ecology in NLP. Ecology refers to the consideration of how your actions affect not only your own well-being, but also that of others and the broader context of your interactions. In seduction, this means ensuring that your pursuit of a desired outcome is harmonious with the well-being of both parties and does not lead to negative consequences. An outcome is ecologically sound when it respects the values, desires, and boundaries of everyone involved. It should contribute to personal growth and the deepening of connections. Seduction, when practiced with an ecological mindset, becomes a dance of mutual exploration and enrichment rather than a selfish pursuit. To ensure your outcomes are ecologically sound, engage in these reflective exercises. 1. Ecological check exercise. Before acting on a seductive intention, ask yourself questions like, does this action respect the other person's autonomy? And, is this in line with my values? Reflect on the potential impact of your actions on all parties involved. 2. Long-term impact exercise. Consider the possible long-term effects of achieving your desired outcome. How might it influence your life and the life of the other person? Ensure that the outcome you're working toward is one that you can look back on with pride and satisfaction. By integrating outcome orientation with ecological thinking, you can engage in seduction that is not only effective, but also responsible and enriching. This thoughtful approach to influence ensures that your interactions are both meaningful and ethical. Chapter 5. Empathetic Communication. Chapter 5 explores the essential role of empathy in seduction and influence. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person, which is foundational for building deep and lasting connections. In the context of NLP, empathetic communication involves actively tuning in to the emotional experiences of others and responding in a way that shows genuine understanding and care. Empathetic communication goes beyond mere sympathy, which is feeling compassion for someone. It is about truly stepping into their shoes and experiencing the world from their perspective. This level of understanding can create a powerful bond between individuals, making it a key element in the art of seduction. To cultivate empathetic communication, consider these exercises. 1. Active empathy. Exercise. In your next interaction, focus on really understanding the other person's emotional state. Ask questions to clarify their feelings and reflect back what you've heard to show that you are truly listening and empathizing. 2. Emotional vocabulary. Expansion. Exercise. Work on expanding your emotional vocabulary. The more words you have to describe feelings, the better you can articulate and resonate with the emotions of others. By engaging in empathetic communication, you demonstrate to the person you are interested in that they are seen, heard, and valued. This creates a climate of trust and openness, which is conducive to seduction and influence. Empathy in communication is not solely about addressing emotional content. It also involves acknowledging and validating the other person's experiences and viewpoints. This validation does not necessarily mean agreement, but rather a recognition of their perspective as legitimate and understandable within their frame of reference. In seduction, validating someone's experiences can create a sense of safety and acceptance, which can deepen the level of intimacy and connection. It signals to the other person that you respect their reality and are open to learning more about them. To practice empathetic validation, engage in these exercises. 1. Validation exercise. When someone shares a thought or feeling with you, respond with validation before adding your perspective. Use phrases like, "That makes sense given what you've been through," or "I can see how you would feel that way." 2. Perspective-taking exercise. Choose a situation where you have a different opinion or feeling than someone else. Instead of arguing for your point of view, try to genuinely understand theirs. Ask questions that help you see the situation from their perspective. By incorporating validation and perspective-taking into your interactions, you foster an environment where genuine seduction can flourish. Empathetic communication is about connecting with the essence of who someone is, which is incredibly attractive and influential. Building on the foundations of empathy, it's crucial to understand the role of deep listening, a practice that goes beyond the words being spoken to the underlying emotions, needs, and desires. Deep listening in the context of seduction is about tuning into the subtleties of the other person's communication, both verbal and nonverbal, to truly grasp what they are trying to convey. Practicing deep listening can reveal much about the other person's values and motivations, which can then guide your responses in a way that aligns with their emotional landscape. This kind of attunement can create a profound sense of connection and understanding, making your seductive efforts more impactful and appreciated. To develop your deep listening skills, try these exercises. 1. Deep listening exercise. In your next conversation, pay close attention to not just what is said, but also what is left unsaid. Observe body language, tone of voice, and pauses. After the conversation, reflect on what these nonverbal cues might have been communicating. 2. Needs and desires identification exercise. When interacting with someone, try to identify the needs and desires that underlie their statements. For example, if someone expresses frustration, they might desire understanding or a sense of control. Respond in a way that addresses those underlying needs. By engaging in deep listening, you will be able to respond to others in a way that is both compassionate and seductive. This level of empathetic communication is not only influential, but also creates a space for genuine connection and mutual fulfillment. Empathetic communication also involves the skill of reflective responding. This technique allows you to mirror the other person's communication in a way that shows you are fully engaged and understand their perspective. Reflective responding is not just about repeating what the other person has said, but about capturing the essence of their message and reflecting it back in a way that resonates with them. In the dance of seduction, reflective responding can be a powerful way to build rapport and show that you are emotionally in tune with the other person. It can make the individual feel heard and seen on a deeper level, which is incredibly attractive and can enhance the bond between you. To practice reflective responding, consider these exercises. 1. Reflective responding exercise. The next time you are in a conversation, try to summarize the other person's main points or feelings in your own words. Show that you understand not just the content, but also the emotion behind it. 2. Emotional mirroring exercise. Pay attention to the emotional undertones in the other person's communication. Reflect those emotions back in your responses, using similar emotional language and tone. By mastering reflective responding, you demonstrate a high level of empathy and attentiveness, which can significantly increase your seductive appeal. This skill helps to create a sense of emotional congruence and connection that is essential for deep and meaningful interactions. As we conclude the chapter on empathetic communication, it's important to recognize the power of vulnerability in building connections. Vulnerability involves opening up about your own emotions and experiences, which can foster trust and intimacy. In seduction, showing vulnerability at the right moment can deepen the connection and make the interaction more meaningful. However, vulnerability should be exercised with discernment. It is not about overexposing yourself or sharing inappropriately, but rather about revealing your authentic self in a way that is appropriate to the level of intimacy already established in the interaction. To practice vulnerability in a balanced way, engage in these exercises. 1. Controlled vulnerability exercise. Share something personal about yourself that relates to the topic at hand, but is not too intimate. Observe how this sharing affects the level of trust and connection in the interaction. 2. Reciprocal disclosure exercise. When the other person shares something personal, reciprocate with a similar level of disclosure. This can create a sense of balance and mutual sharing that enhances the connection. By combining empathy with the right amount of vulnerability, you create a powerful dynamic that can be incredibly seductive. It shows that you are not only interested in understanding the other person, but also willing to be understood yourself. As we move forward to the next chapter, we will explore the techniques of building rapport through mirroring and matching, further developing the skills necessary for effective and ethical seduction. Chapter 6. Building rapport through mirroring and matching. This chapter focuses on the NLP techniques of mirroring and matching, which are powerful methods for building rapport and establishing a connection with someone. Rapport is the feeling of harmony and understanding that can make communication flow more easily and pleasantly. In seduction, rapport is the groundwork upon which attraction and deeper connections are built. Mirroring involves subtly copying the body language, speech patterns, or attitudes of the other person. This doesn't mean imitating them in an obvious or mocking way, but rather reflecting their posture, gestures, or tone of voice in a natural and respectful manner. When done correctly, mirroring can make the other person feel more at ease and understood, as it subconsciously signals that you are like them. Matching is similar to mirroring, but extends to matching the energy level, breathing patterns, and even the language style of the other person. It creates a sense of synchrony and alignment that can be very comforting and attractive. To practice these rapport-building techniques, try the following exercises. 1. Mirroring exercise. In your next interaction, choose one aspect of the other person's body language to mirror, such as the way they are sitting or the gestures they use when speaking. Do this subtly and with respect. 2. Matching exercise. Pay attention to the other person's energy level and try to match it in your own behavior. If they are speaking slowly and calmly, adjust your speech to match. If they are energetic and animated, allow yourself to match that energy in a way that feels natural. By skillfully using mirroring and matching, you can quickly establish rapport, making your seductive efforts more effective and welcomed. These techniques help to create a sense of unity and connection that is essential for any meaningful interaction. While mirroring and matching are powerful tools for building rapport, it's important to approach these techniques with sensitivity and discretion. The goal is not to mimic the other person, but to create a subtle, unconscious sense of familiarity and comfort. This requires careful observation and a genuine interest in the person you are engaging with. One of the keys to successful mirroring and matching is to be attuned to the other person's response. If they seem to be responding positively, with a more open posture or a warmer tone, it's likely that your efforts are contributing to a stronger rapport. On the other hand, if they appear uncomfortable or withdraw, it may be necessary to adjust your approach. To refine your mirroring and matching skills, consider these additional exercises. 1. Subtle mirroring exercise. Focus on mirroring something less obvious, such as the rhythm of the other person's speech or their blinking rate. This level of subtlety can be very effective in building rapport without being detected. 2. Matching moods. Exercise. Try to match the emotional tone of the conversation. If the other person is sharing a sad story, respond with a softer voice and a sympathetic demeanor. If the mood is light and humorous, join in with a similar level of cheerfulness. By applying these techniques with care and authenticity, you can enhance the sense of connection and trust in your interactions. Mirroring and matching, when done properly, can be a gentle and respectful way to deepen rapport and set the stage for seduction. An advanced aspect of mirroring and matching is the concept of cross-mirroring, which involves reflecting one type of behavior with another. For example, you might mirror the other person's breathing rhythm with your speech rhythm or their blinking rate with the timing of your gestures. This technique can create a deep and unconscious rapport that feels natural and unforced. In addition to physical mirroring, verbal mirroring can also be a subtle yet powerful way to build connection. This involves using the same words or phrases as the other person, particularly those that seem to carry personal significance. By speaking their language, you demonstrate that you are truly listening and that you share a common understanding. To further develop your cross-mirroring and verbal mirroring abilities, engage in these exercises. 1. Cross-mirroring exercise. In your next conversation, try to match the rhythm of your speech to the other person's breathing. Be subtle and observe whether this synchronization affects the flow of the interaction. 2. Verbal mirroring exercise. Listen for any unique words or phrases the other person uses frequently and incorporate them into your own speech when appropriate. Notice how this affects the rapport between you and the other person. By mastering both physical and verbal mirroring and matching, you can create a powerful sense of rapport that facilitates influence and seduction. These techniques, when used ethically and with respect, can significantly enhance the quality and depth of your interactions. The practice of mirroring and matching extends beyond individual interactions and can be applied to understanding and adapting to the cultural and social norms of the person you are engaging with. This broader application of rapport building can show a deep level of respect and understanding for their background and personal identity. For instance, being mindful of cultural differences in communication styles, such as the use of certain gestures or the preferred amount of personal space, can help avoid misunderstandings and create a more comfortable interaction. Adapting to these subtleties can make the other person feel respected and valued, which is a key element in creating attraction. To enhance your cultural and social mirroring and matching skills, try these exercises. 1. Cultural observation exercise. Research or observe the cultural norms of the person you are interacting with. Try to incorporate appropriate aspects of their culture into your behavior in a respectful way. 2. Social norms adaptation exercise. In a social setting, pay attention to the norms and etiquette of the group. Adapt your behavior to match these norms, which can help you blend in and build rapport with the group as a whole. By considering the broader context of mirroring and matching, you can build rapport on multiple levels, making your influence more profound and your seductive efforts more successful. It demonstrates a holistic understanding of the person and their world, which can be incredibly attractive and persuasive. As we conclude this chapter on building rapport through mirroring and matching, it's essential to remember that the ultimate goal of these techniques is to foster genuine connection and understanding. Rapport is not just a tool for seduction, it is the foundation upon which meaningful relationships are built. When rapport is established, communication becomes more fluid, trust develops, and a space is created for mutual influence. In this space, seduction becomes a natural progression of the connection, rather than a forced or artificial attempt at attraction. To solidify your understanding of rapport building, here are some final exercises. 1. Rapport assessment exercise. After your next interaction, reflect on the level of rapport you felt. What signs indicated that rapport was present or lacking? Use this information to refine your approach in future interactions. 2. Continuous improvement exercise. Set a goal to improve one aspect of your mirroring and matching skills. Whether it's becoming more attuned to nonverbal cues or practicing verbal mirroring with greater subtlety, focus on this area in your upcoming conversations. By mastering the art of building rapport through mirroring and matching, you equip yourself with the skills to navigate the complexities of human interaction. These skills, when applied with care and ethical consideration, can enhance your ability to seduce and influence in a way that is both effective and respectful. Chapter 7. Positive Framing in Conversations. Chapter 7 introduces the concept of positive framing, an NLP technique that involves presenting ideas, situations, or experiences in a positive light. The way we frame our conversations can significantly impact the emotions and attitudes of those we interact with. In seduction, positive framing can create an uplifting environment that draws people in and makes them feel good about themselves and their interactions with you. Positive framing is about focusing on the potential benefits and positive aspects of any situation. It's not about denying or ignoring problems, but rather about choosing to highlight the opportunities for growth, joy, or connection that exist within those challenges. To practice positive framing in your conversations, engage in these exercises. 1. Positive reframing exercise. When discussing a difficult topic or challenge, consciously steer the conversation towards the potential positives. For example, if someone is talking about the stress of their job, you might highlight the skills they're developing or the impact of their work. 2. Opportunity spotting exercise. In your own life, practice identifying the opportunities in challenges you face. Share these insights in conversations to inspire a positive outlook in others. By consistently applying positive framing, you will not only influence others to see the brighter side of life, but also make yourself more attractive as a source of positivity and optimism. Positive framing also extends to how you express your own experiences and desires. When you speak about your life and aspirations, framing them positively can be contagious, inspiring the same in others. In the realm of seduction, this means sharing your passions, dreams, and interests in a way that exudes positivity and invites others to join in your enthusiasm. This approach can be particularly effective when discussing future plans or possibilities. By framing these as exciting opportunities rather than daunting uncertainties, you can create an aura of adventure and confidence that is highly attractive. To further develop your ability to positively frame your own experiences, try these exercises. 1. Aspirations. Sharing exercise. Talk about a goal or dream you have with someone, focusing on the positive aspects and the excitement you feel about pursuing it. Observe how this affects the energy of the conversation and the other person's engagement. 2. Positivity. Infusion. Exercise. Reflect on a recent event in your life and find a way to retell the story with a positive spin. Practice sharing this version of the story and note how listeners respond. By framing your experiences and desires positively, you become a beacon of inspiration. This positivity can be a powerful tool in seduction, as it draws people towards you and makes them want to be part of your world. Incorporating positive framing into your interactions requires a mindset that consistently looks for the silver lining, even in less than ideal circumstances. This doesn't mean you should be unrealistically optimistic, but rather that you cultivate the habit of seeking out and emphasizing the positive potential in any situation. This approach can be particularly impactful in seduction when dealing with setbacks or misunderstandings. By reframing these moments as opportunities for growth or clarification, you can maintain a positive dynamic and prevent the interaction from being overshadowed by negativity. To cultivate a habit of positive framing, consider these exercises. 1. Silver lining. Exercise. When faced with a disappointment or setback, take a moment to consider what you can learn from the situation or how it might be beneficial in the long run. Share these thoughts when discussing the situation with others. 2. Positive perspective. Exercise. Make it a daily practice to write down or discuss 3 positive things that happened to you or that you noticed during the day. This can help train your mind to focus on the positive and bring this perspective into your conversations. By consistently applying positive framing, you'll find that not only do your seductive interactions benefit, but your overall outlook on life becomes more positive. This shift in perspective can be deeply influential, making you an attractive presence that others are drawn to. Positive framing also plays a crucial role in how you handle conversations about the future. When discussing plans or dreams, using positive framing can create a sense of excitement and anticipation. In seduction, this forward-looking positivity can be infectious, encouraging the other person to envision a future that includes you and is filled with positive experiences. This technique is not just about being optimistic, it's about painting a picture of the future that is compelling and attractive. It's about showing that you are someone who not only dreams big, but also has a positive and proactive attitude towards making those dreams a reality. To effectively use positive framing when discussing the future, engage in these exercises. 1. Future visualization. Exercise. Share your vision of an ideal future with someone, focusing on the positive aspects and how you plan to achieve them. Use vivid and sensory-rich language to make the vision as compelling as possible. 2. Joint dreaming exercise. When someone shares their aspirations with you, engage in positive framing by discussing how they could achieve those dreams and what the journey might look like. Offer support and enthusiasm for their vision. By using positive framing to discuss the future, you not only show that you are a source of positive energy, but also someone who is capable of sharing in and contributing to another person's dreams. This can make you an incredibly seductive and inspiring individual to be around. As we conclude this chapter on positive framing, it's essential to integrate this approach with a genuine sense of hope and encouragement. When you interact with others, your ability to instill hope can be a powerful seductive force. It's about more than just seeing the glass as half full. It's about inspiring others to see their potential for happiness, success, and connection. This hopeful outlook becomes particularly influential when you are able to frame challenges as stepping stones to a better situation. In seduction, conveying a sense of hope and optimism about the potential of your connection can encourage the other person to invest emotionally in the relationship. To embody a sense of hope and encouragement in your interactions, practice these exercises. 1. Hope instilling exercise. When someone shares a difficulty with you, acknowledge the challenge and then focus on the hopeful aspects. Discuss potential positive outcomes and offer encouragement for the journey ahead. 2. Encouragement exercise. Make a habit of offering genuine encouragement to others. Celebrate their small victories, acknowledge their progress, and support their efforts towards their goals. By being a source of hope and encouragement, you naturally become more attractive and influential. People are drawn to those who make them feel good about themselves and their future, and by mastering positive framing, you can be that person. With the knowledge of positive framing now in your toolkit, we will move on to the next chapter, where we will explore the nuances of decoding body language in the context of seduction. Chapter 8. Decoding Body Language. Chapter 8 delves into the realm of nonverbal communication and the art of decoding body language. Body language is a critical component of human interaction and can often convey more than words alone. In the context of seduction, being able to read and interpret body language can provide insights into the feelings and intentions of others, allowing you to respond appropriately and deepen the connection. Understanding body language involves recognizing various gestures, postures, and expressions and the emotions they typically represent. For instance, crossed arms might indicate defensiveness or discomfort, while leaning in can suggest interest and engagement. However, it's important to consider these cues in context and in combination with other signals to accurately interpret their meaning. To enhance your ability to decode body language, engage in these exercises. 1. Observation exercise. Spend time in a public place where you can observe people's interactions. Take note of body language cues and try to infer the nature of their relationships and emotions based on these observations. 2. Contextual analysis. Exercise. When you notice a particular body language cue, consider the context in which it occurs. What is being discussed, and what other nonverbal cues accompany it? This can help you make more accurate interpretations. By becoming adept at reading body language, you will gain a deeper understanding of those around you, which is invaluable in the art of seduction. This skill allows you to respond to unspoken feelings and to communicate on a more instinctual and emotional level. Decoding body language is not just about observing others, it's also about being aware of your own nonverbal signals. Your body language can reveal your confidence, openness, and intentions, often before you say a word. In seduction, projecting positive body language can make you more approachable and attractive, setting the stage for a successful interaction. Positive body language in seduction might include maintaining an open posture, offering a genuine smile, and making appropriate levels of eye contact. These signals can indicate that you are friendly, interested, and trustworthy. On the other hand, avoiding eye contact, closed body positions, or fidgeting can convey disinterest or nervousness. To become more conscious of your own body language and to use it effectively, try these exercises. 1. Self-reflection. Exercise. In front of a mirror, practice different postures and expressions. Notice which ones make you appear more open, confident, and engaging. 2. Feedback exercise. Ask a trusted friend to observe your body language during a social interaction and provide feedback. Use this feedback to adjust your nonverbal communication to better align with your seductive intentions. By mastering both the reading and projecting of body language, you will be able to navigate the subtle dance of seduction with greater finesse. Your ability to communicate nonverbally can greatly enhance your appeal and influence. Beyond the basics, there are more nuanced aspects of body language that can be particularly telling in the context of seduction. Micro-expressions, for example, are fleeting facial expressions that can reveal a person's true feelings before they have a chance to consciously mask them. Learning to spot and interpret these quick flashes of emotion can provide valuable insights into someone's inner state. Another subtle aspect of body language is the synchronization of movements, often referred to as mirroring in NLP. When two people are in rapport, their body language tends to synchronize naturally. This can include matching breathing patterns, mirroring gestures, or adopting similar postures. Recognizing and consciously engaging in this mirroring can enhance the feeling of connection. To improve your ability to read these subtle cues, practice the following exercises. 1. Micro-expression training. Watch videos that teach how to recognize micro-expressions. Practice identifying these quick emotional signals in real-life interactions or while watching films. 2. Synchronization exercise. In your next conversation, subtly mirror the other person's body language and notice if they seem more at ease and engaged as a result. By paying attention to the finer details of body language, you can gain a deeper understanding of the people around you. This heightened awareness can significantly improve your seductive influence, allowing you to connect with others on a more profound level. Interpreting body language accurately is also about understanding the cultural and individual variations in nonverbal communication. Gestures and expressions that are considered positive and inviting in one culture may have different connotations in another. Similarly, personal habits and idiosyncrasies can influence someone's body language, making it unique to them. In the art of seduction, being culturally sensitive and attuned to the individual can prevent misunderstandings and foster a deeper connection. This means taking the time to learn about and respect the non-verbal communication norms of the person you're interested in, which can demonstrate care and consideration for their background and personal experiences. To enhance your cultural and individual understanding of body language, engage in these exercises. 1. Cultural research exercise. Investigate the body language norms of different cultures, especially if you are interested in someone from a cultural background different from your own. This knowledge can help you navigate nonverbal communication more effectively. 2. Individual observation exercise. When interacting with someone, take note of any unique body language patterns they exhibit. Over time, you'll be able to build a more accurate understanding of their nonverbal cues. By being mindful of the cultural and individual aspects of body language, you can become a more empathetic and effective communicator. This sensitivity is a key component of ethical seduction, ensuring that your influence is respectful and welcomed. As we conclude our exploration of body language in this chapter, it's important to recognize the power of congruence between verbal and nonverbal communication. When your body language aligns with your words, it reinforces your message and builds trust. In seduction, this congruence can significantly amplify your appeal, as it communicates honesty and integrity. For instance, if you are expressing interest in someone, your body language should match that sentiment. Open posture, direct eye contact, and forward orientation towards the person all signal genuine interest. Conversely, if your body language is closed off or distracted while you're expressing interest, it can create confusion and doubt. To ensure congruence in your communication, practice these exercises. 1. Congruence. Check exercise. After an interaction, reflect on whether your body language matched the message you intended to convey. Consider asking for feedback from a trusted friend or observing yourself in a recorded conversation. 2. Alignment practice. Before entering a social situation, set an intention for how you want to come across and what message you want to convey. During the interaction, periodically check in with yourself to ensure that your body language is aligned with that intention. By mastering the art of decoding and projecting body language, you are equipped with a valuable tool for seduction. Congruent, sensitive, and perceptive nonverbal communication can open doors to deeper connections and more meaningful relationships. With a comprehensive understanding of body language now in your seductive arsenal, we will move on to the next chapter, where we will delve into advanced NLP techniques for deeper influence. Chapter 9. Advanced Techniques. Chapter 9 takes us into the realm of advanced NLP techniques that can be employed for deeper influence in the art of seduction. These techniques go beyond the basics to subtly shape the dynamics of interaction and create profound connections. One such advanced technique is the use of hypnotic language patterns. These patterns are designed to bypass the critical thinking faculties and speak directly to the subconscious mind. In seduction, Hypnotic language can be used to evoke emotions, create compelling imagery, and suggest ideas in a way that feels natural and unobtrusive. Another technique is emotional anchoring, where you create a sensory association with a particular emotional state. By establishing a positive anchor, such as a touch on the arm during a moment of laughter, you can later trigger that same positive emotion through the anchor. To practice these advanced techniques, engage in the following exercises. 1. Hypnotic language exercise. Learn about hypnotic language patterns and practice incorporating them into your conversation. Use phrases that suggest possibility and imagination, such as, "Imagine how you might feel if." 2. Emotional anchoring exercise. With someone's consent, establish an emotional anchor during a positive moment. Later, with their permission, use the anchor to see if it elicits the same positive response. These advanced techniques require practice and finesse to use effectively and ethically. When mastered, they can significantly enhance your ability to influence emotions and deepen the seductive experience. The use of metaphors is another advanced NLP technique that can be particularly effective in seduction. Metaphors allow you to communicate complex ideas and emotions in a way that is accessible and resonant. They can create a shared language between you and the person you are seducing, fostering a deeper understanding and connection. In crafting your metaphors, aim for imagery that is rich and evocative, tapping into universal experiences or emotions. For instance, comparing the excitement of getting to know someone to the thrill of exploring a new city can conjure up feelings of adventure and discovery. To enhance your use of metaphors in seduction, practice these exercises. 1. Metaphor development exercise. Think of an emotion or experience related to seduction, such as the feeling of connection. Create a metaphor that captures the essence of this experience. Practice sharing this metaphor in relevant conversations. 2. Metaphorical listening exercise. When speaking with someone, listen for any metaphors they use. Reflect these back in your responses, or build upon them to strengthen the shared understanding. Metaphors can be a subtle yet powerful tool in your seductive communication, allowing you to influence emotions and thoughts in a way that is both poetic and profound. Storytelling is another advanced technique within NLP that can be particularly influential in seduction. A well-told story can captivate the imagination, evoke emotions, and create a shared experience. In seduction, storytelling allows you to reveal aspects of yourself and your values in an engaging way, while also providing a platform for emotional connection. Effective storytelling in seduction involves structure, sensory detail, and emotional arcs. The story should have a clear beginning, middle, and end, with sensory descriptions that make it vivid and relatable. Emotional arcs should be designed to resonate with the listener and evoke the desired emotional response. To practice the art of storytelling, consider these exercises. 1. Sensory storytelling. Exercise. Choose a memorable experience from your life and craft a story around it. Focus on incorporating sensory details that bring the story to life, such as sights, sounds, and smells. 2. Emotional arc. Exercise. Reflect on the emotional journey you want your listener to experience through your story. Structure the story to lead the listener through these emotions, building to a meaningful conclusion. By mastering the art of storytelling, you can use this technique to not only entertain, but also to build attraction and rapport. Stories can be a gateway to deeper emotional connections and can significantly enhance your seductive influence. Another advanced NLP technique is the use of strategic ambiguity. This technique involves deliberately being vague or ambiguous in your communication to encourage the listener to fill in the gaps with their own imagination and desires. In seduction, strategic ambiguity can create a sense of mystery and curiosity, prompting the other person to become more engaged in the interaction. Strategic ambiguity allows the person you are seducing to project their own meanings and fantasies onto the situation, which can be more alluring than providing explicit details. This technique should be used judiciously and ethically, ensuring that it does not lead to misunderstandings or false expectations. To practice strategic ambiguity, try these exercises. 1. Ambiguity exercise. Craft a statement or story that is intentionally ambiguous and open to interpretation. Share it in a conversation and observe how the other person responds, noting whether it piques their interest or curiosity. 2. Projection exercise. When discussing future possibilities or hypothetical scenarios, leave certain details unclear. This encourages the other person to imagine what those details could be, potentially aligning them with their own hopes or desires. By incorporating strategic ambiguity into your seductive communication, you can stimulate the other person's imagination and desire for discovery, making the interaction more engaging and your influence more profound. In the advanced toolkit of NLP techniques for seduction, pattern interrupts can be particularly powerful. A pattern interrupt is a sudden and unexpected change in the flow of communication that can jolt someone out of their habitual thinking or behavior. In seduction, a well-timed pattern interrupt can capture attention, refresh interest, and create an opportunity for new emotional connections. Pattern interrupts can take many forms, such as a surprising comment, a change in tone or pace, or an unexpected action. The key is to disrupt the expected pattern in a way that is playful and intriguing, rather than jarring or disorienting. To effectively use pattern interrupts in seduction, engage in these exercises. 1. Surprise statement exercise. In the midst of a routine conversation, introduce a statement or question that is out of the ordinary. Observe how this shift affects the interaction and whether it opens up new avenues of conversation. 2. Action. Interrupt exercise. Change your behavior in a subtle but noticeable way, such as suddenly slowing down your speech or changing your posture. Monitor the other person's reaction to this shift and use it as a springboard for deeper engagement. Pattern interrupts, when used skillfully, can add an element of excitement and unpredictability to your interactions. This can be enticing in the art of seduction, as it keeps the other person engaged and curious about what you will do or say next. The advanced NLP technique of future pacing is another powerful tool in seduction. Future pacing involves guiding someone to imagine a future scenario in which they have already achieved a desired outcome or are experiencing a positive state. This technique can create a sense of anticipation and make the imagined future feel more attainable and real. In seduction, future pacing can be used to paint a picture of a shared experience or relationship, subtly guiding the other person's thoughts towards a positive vision that includes you. It's a way of embedding suggestions about a potential future together, creating a shared narrative that can be compelling and attractive. To practice future pacing, consider these exercises. 1. Positive future exercise. During a conversation, describe a scenario where you and the other person are enjoying a positive experience together in the future. Use vivid language to make the experience as real as possible in their mind. 2. Shared goals. Exercise. Discuss shared goals or aspirations and talk about them as if they are already in the process of being achieved. This can help create a sense of partnership and alignment in working towards those goals. Future pacing can influence someone's expectations and emotions, making it a valuable technique in the art of seduction. It allows you to create a sense of shared destiny that can be deeply seductive and persuasive. As we approach the final stages of mastering advanced NLP techniques for seduction, it's important to consider the ethical implications of these powerful tools. Techniques like future pacing, pattern interrupts, and hypnotic language must be used with the utmost respect for the other person's autonomy and consent. The goal of seduction should be to create a mutually enjoyable and respectful connection, not to manipulate or coerce. One way to ensure ethical use of these techniques is to maintain a clear and open communication about intentions and boundaries. This not only safeguards the other person's well-being, but also enhances trust and deepens the connection. To uphold ethical standards while practicing advanced NLP techniques, engage in these exercises. 1. Intentionality. Exercise. Before using an advanced technique, clarify your intentions to yourself. Ensure that your actions are aligned with the principles of respect, consent, and mutual benefit. 2. Boundary awareness. Exercise. Be attentive to the other person's verbal and nonverbal cues that indicate their comfort level. Respect their boundaries and be willing to adjust your approach accordingly. By combining advanced NLP techniques with a commitment to ethical seduction, you can influence with integrity and create connections that are both powerful and positive. In the world of seduction, it's crucial to remember that the most powerful connections are those that are genuine and sincere. While advanced NLP techniques can enhance your influence, they should be used to amplify the true connection between you and the other person, not to fabricate it. Authenticity in your intentions, end actions, is what ultimately creates a lasting and meaningful bond. One of the greatest strengths you can bring to the art of seduction is your own personality and uniqueness. Advanced NLP techniques should therefore be adapted to fit your individual style, rather than being applied as a one-size-fits-all approach. To ensure authenticity while using advanced techniques, consider these exercises. 1. Personalization exercise. Reflect on the advanced NLP techniques you've learned and think about how you can integrate them with your personal communication style. Practice using these techniques in a way that feels natural to you. 2. Authentic connection. Exercise. Focus on building connections based on shared interests, mutual respect, and genuine emotional exchange. Use advanced NLP techniques to deepen these connections rather than create them from scratch. By staying true to yourself and using advanced NLP techniques as tools to enhance authentic connections, your influence in seduction will be both ethical and effective. As we near the completion of our exploration of advanced NLP techniques for seduction, it's beneficial to reflect on the journey of personal growth that accompanies the mastery of these skills. The practice of seduction, when approached as an art form, can lead to a deeper understanding of human psychology, communication, and emotional intelligence. This journey is not just about influencing others, it's also about self-discovery and improvement. As you refine your ability to connect and influence, you'll likely find that you become more attuned to your own emotions, desires, and values. To continue your growth in the art of seduction and NLP, engage in these reflective exercises. 1. Self-reflection. Exercise. After each interaction where you've applied advanced NLP techniques, take some time to reflect on what you learned about yourself and the other person. Consider what worked well and what could be improved. 2. Continuous learning exercise. Keep expanding your knowledge of NLP and seduction by reading, attending workshops, and practicing your skills. The field of NLP is rich with concepts and techniques that can enhance your personal and romantic life. By embracing the continuous learning and self-improvement that come with the art of influence, you'll not only become more adept at seduction, but also grow as an individual. Chapter 10. Ethical Considerations in NLP and Seduction. Chapter 10, the final chapter of our guide, is dedicated to the ethical considerations that are paramount when applying NLP techniques in the art of seduction. The power of influence must be wielded with responsibility, ensuring that the dignity and autonomy of all individuals involved are respected. Ethical seduction is grounded in the principles of consent, honesty, and integrity. It involves a mutual exchange where both parties feel respected and valued. It's about creating connections that enrich lives rather than exploiting vulnerabilities. To ensure that your practice of seduction remains within ethical bounds, it is crucial to engage in these final exercises. 1. Ethical self-check. Exercise. Before engaging in any seductive interaction, perform a self-check to ensure your intentions are ethical. Ask yourself if your actions respect the other person's autonomy, and if you are being transparent about your intentions. 2. Consent and communication. Exercise. Practice clear and open communication in your interactions, always seeking affirmative consent before proceeding with any advances or suggestions. Remember that consent is an ongoing process and can be withdrawn at any time. By adhering to these ethical considerations, you can ensure that your use of NLP techniques for seduction is both honorable and effective. Seduction, when practiced ethically, can lead to fulfilling and meaningful experiences for everyone involved. Endward. As we close the pages of The Art of Influence, Mastering NLP Techniques for Seduction, it is my hope that this book has served not only as a guide to the intricate dance of seduction, but also as a beacon of ethical influence and interpersonal connection. Throughout this journey, we have explored the depths of NLP and its application in the art of seduction. From the foundational concepts of body language and rapport building to the advanced techniques of storytelling and hypnotic language, each chapter has aimed to equip you with the skills necessary to navigate the complexities of human connection with grace and integrity. Remember, the true art of seduction lies not in the techniques themselves, but in the intention behind their use. Seduction, at its core, is about creating genuine connections, enriching experiences, and mutual delight. It is about understanding and being understood, influencing and being influenced, in a dance of mutual respect and shared joy. As you move forward, may you wield the tools and knowledge from this book with wisdom and compassion. May your interactions be characterized by authenticity, your influence be guided by ethics, and your connections be deepened by the sincerity of your approach. Thank you for embarking on this journey of learning and discovery. May the art of influence bring you meaningful relationships and the joy of connection in all its forms.